Hello guys, NautoAce here, and before I start on this video about my thoughts on Grand Blue Fantasy Versus finally having a US release date, which is March 6th. As of in Europe, no one knows yet. Marvelous say they're still working on it. So I want to do this transparency because in the video itself, I might sound sort of being aggressive a bit, but there's a reason why. So the first of all, like I said, and I always said this before in my previous video, anything related to fighting game, is that I like fighting game in a casual level. I do enjoy them. I try to do fancy advanced moves, but I'm old. I got other things to do. I'm not really a quote unquote competitive player. So I like fighting games. When it comes to the fighting game community, I just don't have an interest. They're not bad people. I think they're great people. Yeah, there's always going to be that sour apple, but that's in any community. Every community, let's just say, there's also going to be that one black sheep, but it is what it is. But the bottom line is, for me personally, is I don't have any interest with the FGC. So I am in the favor of this game having English dub, and I'm also, I know not a lot of people are going to like it, supportive to the release date, because if it means adding English dub and doing good localization, I'm all for it. I know in the case with the competitive scene, people probably sign up for the ARC Tour 2020. It is a problem, and I do explain that one. So the disclaimer on this video is that it will be split into two parts. I will sound maybe aggressive, so apologies in advance for that one, but I really wanted to emphasize that, hey, look, that fighting games is not just for the competitive scene. They're actually casual fan who like the franchise, maybe just the game itself, maybe the genre. That, hey, they're not part of the community. They just want to play the game and just have fun and have the full good experience. I mean, look what happened to Central Fiction and Blaze Blue. The casual fan were not really happy, to a point that even Patrick Says and Christina V kind of give their 2 cents about it. So there you go. So to some extent, depends on your perspective of good or bad of the release date. Well, just watch it for yourself. Hello guys, it's NautoAisDx, and this will be a response to Koefficient of YouTube. And for people who don't know who this guy is, he's a FGC, mostly plays anime type fighting games such as Blaze Blue, Guilty Gear, and especially that's coming out in 2020, and that is Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. Yeah, so I'll be talking about that one. Koefficient did a video on the, let's just say, the communication between business and the community about Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, because for a while no one knows what's going on. So here's a little bit of backstory of what's going on for people who don't know. First of all, a long time ago, it was announced that Arc System Work will develop a fighting game based on a popular, let's just say, MMO mobile game. There's also going to be an actual MMO for the PlayStation 4, and it's called Grand Blue Fantasy. So I did watch the anime on Netflix, dub, and that's a keyword there, dub, and I'll explain that later. And it was actually good. So I really want to know what's all the hype about Grand Blue Fantasy, because as of right now, you can't even play the game unless, well, there are ways. For the mobile, apparently there's an English option. And of course, you can also play it on the web. I couldn't figure out, I'm just too old for it, but whatever. So like I said, it was announced that Arc System Work will do a fighting game based on that franchise. Kind of like what they did with Dragon Ball FighterZ. So the graphic, it is the same as Dragon Ball FighterZ, but Grand Blue Fantasy scene. And that's what it is. And later down the line, they show what the game is. Then later on, it was announced that in Japan, like side games, because they're going to be funding the game, and that's a keyword there, so I'll explain also later, that Grand Blue Fantasy Versus will come out in Japan in February the 6th. So that's a keyword Japan there, because if you know the history of fighting games, especially now in the modern time, there have been a lot of controversy of what happened, especially releasing. So now you know the date for Japan. So the question is, when is stateside outside of Japan, in the US, in Europe, and other countries? Well, for a while, XSeed will be in charge of doing the localization for Grand Blue Fantasy versus outside of Japan. So you say, wait a minute, why is it an Arc System work? Well, because technically, the thing is, Arc System work are developed in game. However, again, in Japan, Side Games will be publishing it. They'll be funding the game. All of them will be funding. Arc System work is only the developer. So here's the problem: Side Games does not exist outside of Japan in the case of publishing games. So they need a publishing company. So who do you have? They chose XSeed. Why not This America or any other? Who knows? Why not Axie Game? Again, who knows? Whatever. They chose XSeed. I really don't give a care who's who, as long as they localize the game that people can play a legit way, not importing the game. So XSeed announced that they'll be in charge of stateside, the Grand Blue Fantasy versus the localization and anything. So for a while there was no information of when it's going to be released. There were a lot of like hints and inkling, but unfortunately they came out short. So when did I say that? So there have been reported that Amazon said it would be February 18th. Amazon, for a while before the official announcement, February 18th would come out. Again, not concrete. XSeed didn't say anything about it. And then apparently somebody sent an email to XSeed and said, "Hey, you got any information about Grand Blue Fantasy versus coming out outside of Japan? You know the date, what's going on?" And they said was, "Yeah, we are working close on it. We are focusing on the game, and we will try to release the game in the same month as the Japanese release." So technically they're trying to, I guess at some point they were trying to release it in February. But of course what happened is, fast forward to when they finally exited the trailer for Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, they revealed the date, and that is March the 3rd. So again, yes, apparently someone says a delay. I don't think it was a delay in my opinion. Yes, somebody next to it guessed, that's a keyword there, guessed that it would be somewhere in February, or they're trying to be close to the Japanese release. But of course it's been confirmed, March the 3rd. So this is the response to Koefficient on his video about the communication between XSeed and the fans. So for me, am I a really big fan of Grand Blue Fantasy? I am interested, but that's it. I'm not super fan because I really want to play the original game. Hopefully Relink, the PS4 version, is going to come out eventually because there is planned, but again, no one knows when. I am interested. If they did watch the anime, it is good. Netflix, make it happen. Season 2 dub. And there you go. I just said the word dub. Alright. So if you've been following my channel, especially the MmGS vlog, I am a very, very advocate. I am always a big supporter of English dub and Japanese game. I don't care when they come out. I don't give a shit about world of release. As a casual gamer, as a casual person playing video game, as long as it has English dub, I'm cool. And why I'm being like that? Because apparently, in my opinion, hashtag not a big deal, but of course it is a big deal for some. That the month apart is going to be a big problem there. So that is one of my thoughts about in this vlog. So first of all, I saw the trailer. I love it. It has English dub. There you go. I'm already sold on that one. I am interested. I'm going to buy day one. Maybe, maybe not. If my wallet survive, maybe, because I buy too much games. I don't know why, but they're cheap. I have this weird urge. You see a cheap game, and if it's good, I gotta get it. Especially when it's under $10. I know it's weird, but whatever. But the bottom line is, for me, I can wait. I have no problem with it. As long as English dub, cool. And I see a lot of people that are a casual who just want to play maybe the RPG mode. They want to listen to them in English. They're cool with it because some of the voices I recognize. Sage was there, Christina V, And some of the voices from the anime, they're also reprising in the game. Thumbs up, XSeed, I love it. So for me, personally, I really don't care about the March 3rd release. I think, take your time. As long as English dub, I don't give a shit about worldwide release. I do apologize for that attitude, but it kind of irks me because of the other side, and I'm going to explain what the problem for them is. So, I keep saying about fighting game Grand Blue Fantasy Versus because Grand Blue Fantasy Versus is a fighting game. And of course, if you follow Arc Revo 2019, they announced that Arc Tour 2020, one of the main games besides Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle, will be Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. So, in the perspective of the competitors, I can understand why this is a big deal and why it's always been a complaint ever since Arc System Work games became hype for Evo. There's a reason why there was a controversy with Koefficient without English dub. Revelator and Rev 2 didn't have English dub because, according to Arc System Work, and this has been confirmed by both Mori and Daisuke, they were trying to release the game close to its Japanese counterpart. Because if you're following a lot of this game, it's Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear. In the past, during the PS2 era and the HD era, the games were really not worldwide released. Blaze Blue Calamity Trigger, the very first Blaze Blue game, came out in Japan, and then in the US was a year later. Granted, it wasn't Evo, fighting community tournament wasn't a big thing yet. But when it came later on, I think when it came with Chrono Phantasm Extend, if I'm guessing that right, they were some controversy because they were at the tournament, and the gap between the Japanese release and the stateside release were kind of big. They were more than 2 or 3 months, if I'm just guessing, but it is. And the competitors are frustrated because what they see, especially in stateside, outside of Japan, is the Japanese gets an advantage. They get to play the game. People outside of Japan, guess what? They have to either wait for the US release or the domestic release, or they have to import the game. That's the thing. And it seemed, once again, I decided to ramble. So, with that, I'm going to stop here and I'm going to continue in part 2 more about my thoughts on Grand Blue Fantasy Versus finally having a release date, especially having English dub. 2 thumbs up.